Now that we've covered some of the different blocking maneuvers, let's go into some of the hand techniques that we can use against our opponent. A little bit later we'll work on our feet. Right now I want to get your hand techniques down. Simple jab maneuver. Important thing about this is get that shoulder in there. Lean in there. Know your target zone. Know where you want to hit. Retract the hand quickly. Now also take note of my left hand in this position. I cover it up. It's like a combat position. This is really going to accentuate the power behind my blow, and it's also going to help protect me against any secondary attacks or any attacks that the opponent's going to try to use against me as a countermeasure. Another combination, of course, lead hand jab or punch, followed by a cross punch or a reverse punch. 1, 2. Once again, accuracy, focus, power, speed, put them all together. 1, 2. And notice how quickly I pull my hands up to my head. Now that's a habit from being hit. Once you throw that punch, cover up quickly. You don't want to hang out there. This kind of traditional move where you would leave your weapon out there is a fatal tendency. We don't want that. Now this is a weapon I use when I'm in a position where the opponent jams me or runs into me like a wall. It's called an upset punch. Now see it against the opponent. Let's say I started to move in and got jammed. I would use that punch. Now in this case, I'm actually setting up for the blow.
Yes, it's a...
Let's take a look in slow motion. You can't do this weapon from far away. You have to use it only when you're really close. That's where you get your power. If you try to reach in with it, it won't work. Right there is a perfect distance for it. Let's see that blow again. Now watch how my left shoulder stays forward as I throw the punch. That way I don't predict the movement. Now in this case I'm blocking and I'm doing a very unique strike that I've used over and over again. It's very distracting for the opponent. It's called an upward elbow strike. Let's take a look at it against an opponent. Pow. Upward elbow. That movement works best when the opponent is moving in against you. When they're charging you, you can use it very, very quickly and not be thrown off balance, and they'll run right into it, even if their guard is up. You catch them right up between the hands. Pow. Upward elbow strike. Fantastic weapon. It's called an overhand punch. Kind of a haymaker.
It's hard.
John, that's a hard punch to stop. It's still a very straight-oriented punch, but I get up above the opponent's guard and then throw it down on top of him. It's a good finishing blow. It's not the kind of technique you want to lead with, but it's the kind of thing that will finish the fight. Here's a combination of a lead hand punch, a reverse punch, and a body hook.
Mr. Jones?
Punch, reverse punch, body hook. Notice the cover-up afterwards. 1, 2, fully protected, and 3. Create the openings. 1, 2, 3. Done quickly. 1, 2, 3. Now notice my right shoulder after I've thrown that punch. 1, 2, 3, shoulder covers up. Make that a habit in your RBWI training. Now there I'm throwing the first 2 as a miss, and the third against the pad. This is nice to work against a heavy bag or against a training partner who has a pad in their hand. Work these weapons. You have to feel it against a resistant opponent. You also have to feel it against impact. That can change everything. Now in this case I use the edge of my hand to strike with, followed by an elbow. These are 2 good weapons. 1, 2.
Mr. French. One more.
Now in this case, he runs into my edged hand. I strike 1, follow up with the elbow. Edge hand is a nice, tight, close weapon. It's good for targets like the eyes and the throat. The elbow is an incredible close-quarter weapon. The fingertip strike to the eyes, followed by a downward elbow. 1, 2.
Mr. Jenner. Yes.
Another incredible fighting maneuver. Poke to the eyes to blind, set up, and come straight down on top of him. A lot of times I'll get right in between that guard. One, set up, right between the guard. Pow. You hit with the forearm or the elbow with that. Notice the follow through. Blind him, set up for the downward elbow strike. Now let's work on our